On Rye, Chapter 16. I didn't know exactly why, but Chucky, Eddie, Gene, and Frank let me join them in some of their games. I think it started when another guy showed up and they needed 3 on a side. I still required more practice to get really good, but I was getting better. Saturday was the best day. That's when we had our big games. Other guys joined in, we played football in the street. We played tackle in the lawns, but we played in the street, we played touch. There's more passing then because he couldn't get far with the run and touch. There was trouble at the house, much fighting between my mother and my father, and as a consequence, they kind of forgot about me. Got to play football each Saturday. During one game, I broke in the open behind the last pass defender, and I saw Chuck wing the ball. It was a long, high spiral, and I kept running. I looked back over my shoulder, I saw it coming, it fell right in my hands, I held it as I was in for the touchdown. Then I heard my father's voice yell, "Henry!" He was standing in front of his house. I lobbed the ball to one of the guys on my team so they could kick off, and I walked down to where my father stood. He looked angry. I could almost feel his angry. He always stood with one foot a little bit forward, his face flushed, and I could see his pot belly going up and down with his breathing. He was 6'2", and like I said, he looked to be all ears, mouth, and nose when angry. I couldn't look at his eyes. "All right," he said, "you're old enough to mow the lawn now. You're big enough to mow it, edge it, and water the flowers. It's time you did something around here. It's time you get off your dead ass." "But I'm playing football with the guys. Saturday's the only real chance I have. Are you talking back to me?" "No." I could see my mother watching from behind a curtain. Every Saturday they cleaned the whole house. They vacuumed the rugs and polished the furniture. They took up the rugs and waxed the hardwood floors and then covered the floors with the rugs again. You couldn't even see where they had been waxed. The lawnmower and edger were in the driveway. He showed them to me. "Now, you take this mower and go up and down the lawn and don't miss any places. Dump the grass catcher here whenever it gets full. Now, when you've mowed the lawn in one direction and finished, take the mower and mow the lawn the other direction. Get it? First you mow it north and south, then you mow it east and west. Do you understand?" "Yes." "Don't look so goddamn unhappy or I'll really give you something to be unhappy about. After you've finished mowing, then you take the edger. You trim the edges of the lawn with the little mower on the edger. Get under the hedge, get every blade of grass. Then take the circular blade on the edger and you cut along the edge of the lawn. It must be absolutely straight along the edge of the lawn. Understand?" "Yes." "When you're done with that, you take these." Father showed me some shears. "You get down on your knees and you go around cutting off any hairs that are still sticking up. Then you take the hose and you water the hedges and the flower beds. Then you turn on the sprinkler and you let it run 15 minutes in each part of the lawn. You do all this in the front lawn and in the flower garden, and then you repeat it on the rear lawn and the flower garden there. Are there any questions?" "No." "Alright, now I want to tell you this. I'm going to come out and check everything when you're finished, and when you're done, I don't want to see one hair sticking up in either the front or back lawn. Not one hair. If there is..." He turned, walked up the driveway, across his porch, opened the door, slammed it, and was gone inside of his house. Took the mower, rolled it up the drive, and began pushing it on its first run north and south. You could hear the guys down the street playing football. I finished mowing, edging, and clipping the front lawn. I watered the flower beds, set the sprinkler going, and began working my way toward the backyard. There was a stretch of lawn in the center of the driveway leading to the back. I got that too. I didn't know if I was unhappy. I felt too miserable to be unhappy. It was like everything in the world had turned to lawn, and I was just pushing my way through it all. I kept pushing and working, but then suddenly I gave up. It would take hours, all day, and the game would be over. The guys would go in to eat dinner, Saturday would be finished, and I'd still be mowing. As I began mowing the back lawn, I noticed my mother and my father standing in the back porch watching me. They just stood there silently, not moving. Once as I pushed the mower past, I heard my mother say to my father, "Look, he doesn't sweat like you do when you mow the lawn. Look how calm he looks." "Calm? He's not calm, he's dead." When he came by again, I heard him, "Push that thing faster, you move like a snail." I pushed it faster. It was hard to do, but it felt good. I pushed it faster and faster. I was almost running with the mower. The grass flew back so hard that much of it flew over the grass catcher. I knew that would anger him. "You son of a bitch!" he screamed. I saw him run off the back porch and into the garage. He came out with a 2x4 about a foot long. From the corner of my eye, I saw him throw it. I saw it coming at me, no attempt to avoid it. It hit me on the back of my right leg. The pain was terrible. The leg now up and I had to force myself to walk. I kept pushing the mower, trying not to limp. When I swung around to cut another section of the lawn, the 2x4 was in the way. Picked it up, moved it aside, and kept moving. The pain was getting worse. Then my father was standing beside me. "Stop!" I stopped. "I want you to go back and mow the lawn over again where you didn't catch the grass in the catcher. Do you understand me?" "Yes." My father walked back into the house. I saw my mother standing in the back porch watching me. The end of the job was to sweep all the grass that had fallen on the sidewalk and then wash the sidewalk down. I was finally finished except for sprinkling each section of the lawn in the backyard for 15 minutes. I dragged the hose back to set up the sprinkler and my father stepped out of the house. "Before you start sprinkling, I want to check this lawn for hairs." My father walked to the center of the lawn, got down on his hands and knees, and placed the side of his head low against the lawn, looking for any blade of grass that might be sticking up. He kept looking, twisting his neck, peering around. I waited. Aha! He leaped up and ran towards the house. Mama! Mama! He ran to the house. What is it? I found a hare! You did? Come, I'll show you. He came out of the house quickly with my brother following. Here, I'll show you. Got down on his hands and knees. I can see it. I can see 2 of them. My mother got down with them. I wonder if they were crazy. See them? He answered. 2 hares. See them? Yes, Daddy, I see them. They both got up. My father walked into the house. My father looked at me. Inside. I walked to the porch and inside the house. My father followed me. Into the bathroom. My father closed the door. Take your pants down. I heard him get down the razor strop. My right leg still ached. It didn't help having felt the strop many times before. The whole world was out there indifferent to it all, but that didn't help. Millions of people were out there. Dogs and cats and gophers, buildings, streets, but it didn't matter. There was only Father and the razor strop in the bathroom and me. He used that strop to sharpen his razor, and early in the mornings I used to hate him with his face white with lather, standing before the mirror shaving himself. Then the first blow of the strop hit me. The sound of the strop was flat and loud. The sound itself was almost as bad as the pain. The strop landed again. It was as if my father was a machine, swinging that strop. There was the feeling of being in a tomb. The strop landed again, and I thought, this is surely the last one. But it wasn't. It landed again. I didn't hate him. He was just unbelievable. I just wanted to get away from him. I couldn't cry. I was too sick to cry, too confused. The strop landed once again. Then he stopped. I stood and waited. I heard him hanging up the strop. Next time, he said, I don't want to find any hares. I heard him walk out of the bathroom. He closed the bathroom door. The walls were beautiful. The bathtub was beautiful. The wash basin and the shower curtain were beautiful. Even the toilet was beautiful. My father was gone.